Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching Times Now. For the last 48 hours, viewers, Times Now has exposed the special and absolute powers the Waqf Board enjoys. The powers that allow them to take over any property they wish to, and this is not limited to any particular region or state but extends to the whole country. Times Now also exposed how properties in areas like Connaught Place, Ashoka Road, Mathura Road and several other high-value VVI enclaves were gifted to the Waqf during the UPA era. The alleged loot does not end here. AAP MLA Amanatullah Khan has been arrested for his alleged involvement in a case of illegal appointments and financial irregularities in the management or the mismanagement of the Delhi Waqf Board. While the courts will decide the guilt, this case has triggered a massive debate on the Waqf Act and how it has been abused liberally. Well, there is a Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Act, the HRCE, to administer Hindu temples and Hindu places of worship. There is no such law or even a regulatory mechanism for Waqf that enjoys unlimited, unmitigated and infinite power and access. Isn't it therefore only legitimate to ask, why shouldn't this discrimination end? And let's straight away open this up. Joining us, Anuja Kapoor, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Karan Verma, author, political analyst, Atiq Ur Rehman, Islamic scholar, Ravi Srivastava, political analyst, completes the panel. Good evening to all of you. Atiq Ur Rehman Sahab, I want to begin by asking you, what are your thoughts on the powers that the Waqf Board enjoys?
Pranesh, the powers are very much described in the Constitution. Since 1861 to 2017, there have been more than 24 of enactments in the Waqf Board Act, and all enactments have empowered the government every time. In all the enactments, the government's powers have increased. I do not know on what grounds you are saying that it's discriminatory. The temples, the religious places, everything runs under the equality law in the Constitution of India. No Waqf board is having any preferential treatment. All Waqf chairmen are appointed by the state government. The chief executive officers of the Waqf board are appointed by the government. The government is completely, and very important point, Pranesh, here is the acquisition of the land can be taken by the government at any point of time. So on what grounds are you saying that it's discriminatory or even appeasement on the part of a community by the government?
Okay, now before I get into the grounds, let me get a quick word from Karan Verma. Now Karan Verma, before we involve the two other players, Anuja Kapoor of the BJP and Ravi Srivastava, why don't you put this in context?
Yes.
And enlighten Mr. Atiq Ur Rehman on what we are talking about, because, you know, he has his eyes close to the reality unfolding before him.
Look, Mr. Rehman is actually a very learned person, so I'm surprised he's come up with this. But anyways, I'll set things in perspective. Pranesh, the Waqf Act 1995 is the single biggest land grab in the history of this country. And this has been going on. 1995 amendment has only given it further teeth. I'll just put your attention on some of the sections of it. Section 40 gives them unfettered power to decide whether your land is Waqf or not. And when it's Waqf, it belongs to Allah in perpetuity. No questions asked, nothing. Section 54 gives it the power to call you an encroacher. And you can only get relief through a very lengthy and exhaustive legal trial, and that too, God bless the Supreme Court, because they intervened just a year back. Otherwise, even that recourse wasn't there. Section 52 and 53 make sure that even the DM or the SSP is ordered and you are asked to vacate the land. So these are some of the draconian powers. all the land, I mean close to 70% of the land, by one account I was hearing, is considered to be Waqf land in Delhi. Even the Delhi High Court, they say, is on Waqf property. Now, if this is not draconian, then I don't know what is the definition of draconian. And today, we've seen a brazen example of that, how loot is carried out using the powers of this act. Amanatullah Khan is today under custody. What he's done is, how can an act which is totally religious in character and which gives unfettered power to a religion, how can that be possible in a secular country like ours is the first question. And secondly, what Amanatullah has done, 33 appointments, he's appointed his near and dear ones and caused massive financial bungling in the accounts, usurped large amounts of land because he knows he enjoys unfettered power in this Waqf Act. There are two people today, Mr. Abid and Mr. Shamim Akhtar, who've described in detail and have become witnesses and are said that we are being threatened by Amanatullah Khan. So this is how this land grab is being carried out, and it's high time that the Waqf Act 1995 be scrapped and Amanatullah be tried for brazen corruption.
I am coming to you, sir. I am coming to you.
There is a watertight case. He has appointed most of the people from his constituency in Okhla. 33 people.
Absolutely. Let's see how that case unfolds. But absolutely, Karan Verma, I just want to add to what you said. Power is only one bit of the problem in the Waqf Act. Now, if you go through section 43 of the Waqf Act, and we've put it on our screen so that viewers know what we are talking about.
Yes.
Power is one aspect, the other is complete immunity. So if you have to take action against the Waqf, you actually go and consult them, take their permission. And in this case, the BJP is saying that it is not just power and immunity, but also impunity that political patronage lends, like it happened in the case of Mr. Amanatullah Khan. Let me get a word from Anuja Kapoor. I am coming to you, Mr. Rehman, after this. Ms. Kapoor.
So as you've very clearly seen that Amanatullah Khan and Chai... Yes, are you able to hear me?
Loud and clear, ma'am.
Yes. So what happens is Amanatullah Khan has been a history shader for a pretty long time and everybody knows it, and Delhi police has already put it through. Now Amanatullah Khan, being a chairman of Waqf Board, he has a mens rea in his hand. So what happens is, when he has an indictment to the properties in his hand, he has a knowledge of it, he has an opportunity of it. So you see how he has already been using the land grabbing and illegal encroachment, and he has been threatened, and he not only threatens, intimidate the people and hurt and rioting, and 18 FIRs has already been put up against him. So imagine this history sheeter who has become a chairman of the Waqf Board. So he has an ability to put it across anywhere, and giving to the I think, as the friend says, 33, it's around 32, 33 illegal recruitments. Now when he is enjoying this kind of a criminal conspiracy which he creates with Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal ji, who has appointed him, and he knows that he has a criminal background, and he has 18 FIRs against him. Imagine the immunity he is doing. And apart from that, he was also involved in a Jahangirpuri Delhi in Royd case, Jahangirpuri Royd case. He was being appointed there also. He was again appointed, we were seen in front of doing drama in South Delhi in a demolition case. Again, he was doing drama and he was again protecting the refugees.
Okay, so you believe this is a clear case of political patronage. Let's get a response from Mr. Ravi Srivastava before we go back to the larger question we were talking about. Mr. Ravi Srivastava.
I would not call it a political patronage, I would call it a political vendetta. Actually, Amanatullah Khan, again, the recent arrest, that is yesterday, had happened after 2 years and 8 months after filing the FIR, which was filed on 29th January 2020. After that, he contested the election of member of Legislative Assembly, and he won with a thumping majority. I don't know why those who people who are crying hoarse, the 18 FIRs or 20 FIRs or 25 FIRs, what were they doing for all 2.5 years or rather 2 years and 8 months and did not act upon it? Even yesterday's arrest, not even a single penny has been found in his possession. Some record made of that 2 licensed pistols and some live cartridges caught from some other people are being said to be his aid. You know, it is very easy to call somebody his aid. I don't know whether Nirav Modi and Mehul Chokshi were aid to Mr. Narendra Modi. So it's an everything becomes an aid. In aid got this, aid have this. Go and fix the aid. Hang him, fire him. Who stops the police or ACB? And this is the one reason why the ACB was taken away from Arvind Kejriwal. Right at when he is taken over the reins of Delhi state. This was the reason, because they wanted to use him also, the ACB also now. So along with ED, CBI, Income Tax, NIA, now this is also one agency which is being misused.
Okay, so you, Mr. Ravi Srivastava, you believe this is a fishing expedition that the agency is on? Okay.
4 days. Absolutely. Roving. Yeah.
Okay, fishing and roving expedition. Karan Verma has his hand up. Yes, Karan.
Can I answer this? You know, this is not a fishing expedition, and I'll tell you why. Because the complaint has come from the Waqf Board itself. 2 of the members, Mr. Abid and Mr. Shamim Akhtar, have turned witnesses and they have complained of the irregularities. And it was because of their complaints that an FIR was registered in January 2020. So it's not coming from BJP, it's not coming from anywhere else, it's coming from the Waqf Board itself, which we are questioning, like how the Waqf Act is happening. But even there, it is coming from them. So you can't bring a religious angle because it's coming from the community. You can't bring the political angle because it's not come from BJP. And this has been the history of AAP. Every single case, whether it is the classroom case that has been set in motion by a private complaint made by Vijendra Gupta, which was taken cognizance by the CVC. The CVC sent a letter to them. AAP hasn't replied to them, which is why the inquiry and the investigation carried out. Similarly, in the liquor scam, it was the Delhi Chief Secretary who submitted a report to the LG, who then recommended a CBI probe. So everything has been as per rules and regulations, and not a single place where AAP has got it quashed by the court. That is very important, Pranesh. If you are squeaky clean, get the FIR quashed by the court.
Can I reply?
AAP has failed in doing that in every single case. So they have no business crying political vendetta anymore. This is fake and phony if you now cry political vendetta.
Okay, Mr. Ravi Srivastava, quick response.
Go to the court and get the FIR quashed.
Yeah, I think advocate should know it very well that no allegation or no witness is stands unless it is tried in the court of law by the defense and prosecution both. So it is saying that they were witness, they gave this statement, etc., etc. Those statements have got no value.
No, but Mr. Ravi Srivastava, Karan Verma is only trying to draw a parallel by giving example of what's happened in the Satyendra Jain case. The Aam Aadmi Party, or in fact the legal team of Mr. Jain went to court seeking relief, but the relief was denied. So he's only making an example of that. But let's address the larger question, the question that becomes fundamental, because here in this case it is the Waqf members who are turning against Amanatullah Khan of the alleged irregularities. And Atiq Ur Rehman, answer one question, sir, and I have the documents, the Waqf Act here. Now, is this not discriminatory, sir, that while the 1995 Waqf Act gives absolute power to the Waqf to encroach on any land, to claim any piece of land, the 1991 Places of Worship Act impedes the claims of Hindus in claiming what is rightfully theirs?
Yes.
Pranesh, I object to the words of encroach. Because if you say the Waqf Board is encroaching the land, it might be political in nature. And let me confess today that all Waqf Boards are neck deep into corruption. They are guided by the state governments, The state government appoints.
Thank you.
Let me complete, Pranesh. The state governments appoint the chairman of it, the CEO. I am talking of the larger picture, that why the people who are saying that the entire Waqf Act should be abolished, are they not, as
Now,
Mr. Ravi
at this
Srivastava
instance,
pointed
Mr.
out,
Atiq Ur
they are
Rehman, let me
switching.
warn you, you are
The
running the risk of
trouble
being
voters,
branded a BJP spokesperson or a BJP
Karan,
stooge,
please.
because you've just called out the corruption within the Waqf
No,
Board.
I don't care.
Now,
I
if you
don't
go
care,
any further,
Pranesh.
Ravi Srivastava will turn
Pranesh, I
against
don't
you
care.
and say
But
that, look,
let me complete my
you've
point.
sold your soul and what not.
No,
so I'm
no,
just
he is a
warning you,
good
sir.
friend of mine.
You think it through.
He is a good friend of mine, and there is a very good understanding between him and myself. I am pointing to the clause which Mr. Karan, pinpointed. That is, if Allah, the Almighty, is the owner of the Waqf land, is it not true that the deity sitting in the temple also is the owner of the temple land? So where is the dispute? Where is the extra privilege given to the Waqf boards? The corruption element is by the state governments. It's political in nature, not religious. Please do not mix up the things. We can streamline the Waqf Act, which has been done 2 times since 1800 to 2017. The entire cooperative banking sector, as per the RBI, is full of corruption. Should we abolish the cooperative bank sector? No. The RBI needs to streamline it.
Mr. Rehman, now if you're done with your piece, now can you tell us, sir?
Can I answer?
Coming to you, Karan Verma, how do you exactly plan to streamline this greatest Indian robbery that has been going on?
Yes.
On 2 grounds, Pranesh. On the constitutional aspect of equality and the constitutional aspect of secularism. I have no qualms if the entire temple and the land are brought under the government control. But are you into it when the Supreme Court said in so many other temple cases that once the maladministration, and pinpoint this factor, Pranesh, the religious places have the right to administer, not maladminister. If they are maladministrating, it should be streamlined and returned it back to the temple or the trust, all the religious places. This is the guideline of the Supreme Court, not me, not yours.
But is this happening? This sounds great as an idea, but this is not what's happening, sir. What's happening is that lands worth thousands of crores.
That needs to be done.
Who will do it? Where are the community leaders who've enjoyed all this unfettered access, infinite power for so long? And in the name of secularism, why have they not said that, look, there's nothing secular about this. This is a joke on all the other faith and the people associated with those faiths. Now there is a plea that the court is hearing, and you have the All India Muslim Personal Board wanting to, impede that, wanting to derail that case. Why should there not be unanimity? If what you are saying, what you are saying is true, sir.
The Supreme Court won't be guided by their actions.
No, but there is also the moral obligation, Karan Verma.
As I said,
it is very well for Mr. Atiq Ur Rehman to come here and say all kinds of things. I am glad he is taking a position. Yeah. There are no two ways about it.
No, I will. Yeah, no. I will have to give it to Mr. Rehman for admitting at least that there is gross corruption in the Waqf Board. I have to give it to him for his intellectual honesty there. Where we differ is the second part of it, where I say that the sections which are also displayed on your screen right now, section 107, section 54, section 40, I believe, sir, that these sections give the Waqf Board unfettered power. That is where the problem is. I agree with you that there is maladministration, but I say that these sections are the reason why this maladministration is being patronized. We have to get rid of these sections which are arbitrary in nature and which are clearly giving the Waqf Board unfettered power to decide whether a land is Allah's property or not. This is not the case in Hindus. In Hindus, there is no such, as per the HREC, there is no such unfettered power which goes back to the pre-independence day, where every property which has been donated is Allah's property. There is no such provision where the Waqf tribunal, their decision is final, which cannot be challenged. Thank God it is now being challenged at least. But these are the sections which are draconian, and no reasonable person can say they are not draconian, because they are clearly one-sided and religious in nature. Yes, there is political corruption, but these sections are religious in nature,
No, I
which is
do
a
not agree,
contradiction
Karan.
with the secular
Sorry.
character of our country.
I
That is my
cannot
humble
agree
submission.
with you on this point, Karan.
Sir, you may
There
not agree,
is-
but that's the fact.
No
It's a matter of fact.
powers to either of the religious bodies.
It's a fact, sir.
Even the temples too have enjoying those powers. Even the deity enjoys the same powers.
No, they are not.
There is no discrimination. I am telling you,
There is a
politicization I
difference
can
between
agree
the
on,
Hindu
on the
religious
point, but
endowments,
religiously,
charities and Waqf. No, there is no politicization. This is a legal
Where is the
point
difference?
also.
Tell me.
Leave aside the politics, there we've agreed. But when we come to the
no.
legal
All the
parameters
politicians
of
in the
it,
state have
these
the temple
sections
trust.
are clearly giving unfettered power. Tell me one
There are
section.
gross
Sir,
anomalies
tell me one
found on
section
the
of
temple
HREC
trust, Karan.
which is giving that sort of power
mainly
to
in
the
South
Hindus.
India.
No, sir, can you cite an example, sir?
Sorry?
Please enlighten us, sir, with an example.
Innumerable, Pranesh, wherein in the southern temples, the amount of money they garner over there, all the temple trusts do have politicians as trustees over there, and they too are. And
That's
that is
exactly,
why
that's part of the problem, sir. That's part of the problem. There's an assault on Hindu faith there also, which is why on Times Now we ran the campaign Mukt Karo Mandir.
Places are
Why should the government regulate the affairs of Hindu temples,
I
the
agree
religious
on that
places?
part.
Why?
Pranesh, I agree on that part.
No, and if you are doing and if you are so interested in
agree on that
managing
part.
this,
Is that
why
possible?
not for other faith? Why should be the Hindus be at the
That's what
receiving
I'm
end of
telling
it
you.
all?
The equality
all the
aspect
time?
and the secular aspect.
Now, Ravi Srivastav,
No, then it will be appeasement of either of the two.
it is, sir. It will be.
No
It is.
appeasement.
Pranesh,
That is what it
Secularism
is.
and
Now, Ravi Srivastav, you've heard both sides, sir.
Pranesh.
Can you rise above both today and take a
Pranesh.
position? At least
Pranesh,
Atiq Ur Rehman
this is-
Saab has said that, look, there is corruption.
Yeah, Atiq Bhai is a learned person, and he is unbiased. He is very neutral as far as his opinions are concerned. But I have a different thing altogether. I am slightly generalizing it. Please don't mind it. What I am saying is, this is an extension of the majoritism. You know, the way Azan,
I can't believe what you're saying. No, come on, Ravi
Halal,
Srivastav.
Madrasa.
Come on.
Yeah,
Don't
this
do
is
this,
happening.
sir. Don't do
is
this, Ravi
happening.
Srivastav.
I am telling
agree,
What
sir,
has
I
this
agree.
to do with
Pranesh,
majoritarianism?
Karnataka Eidgah Maidan.
No, but what has this? No, sir. What,
Yes,
the
yes,
powers that the
Karnataka,
Waqf Board
Bangalore.
enjoys, what has that
Bangalore
got to do
city.
with majoritarianism?
Mysore,
Sir?
Mysore,
Either I don't understand
Mysore.
majoritarianism,
Mysore
Pranesh,
Mosque.
or I think
I'm
you
telling
got
you.
it all wrong.
This is happening. This is happening. This is a
Mr.
a
Ravi
further
Srivastav,
extension
sir,
of
with
all
the
the
greatest
kind
of
of
regards,
things
sir,
that are
you
happening.
completely
I'm
off,
saying
off, no,
giving
sir,
you
you're
two
completely
examples.
off the mark. You are completely off the mark, sir.
No, I can quote you example. I am giving
No,
you
I
example.
agree with
sir. I am telling you
Majoritarianism,
the Eidgah
where the
Maidan in
Hindus are
Bangalore
suffering,
city.
you are saying this is
It
majoritarianism.
is happening, yes.
The Waqf Board
That's
has
a
more
Waqf Board.
powers.
That's
No,
a Waqf Board
look at-
property.
Can you, sir, can you
That's a
read this?
Waqf Board
Can you
property
read this
being
graphic
taken
that
over
you
by
put
the
on
state
air?
now.
Should I read it aloud for you, sir? If this is majoritarianism, then I don't know what to do.
Absolutely, sir, and it is happening.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, but you know,
Bangalore city,
because of
several
individuals
places
like you,
where the Waqf properties are there.
no,
they
you are
trying
not
to
taking
take
a
over that.
position. You are trying to mislead. No, that's not going to work here with me. Karan Verma, 30 seconds on the show.
No, he doesn't
Sum it
have a
up.
point.
This is your perception.
There's no perception in it, sir. This is in
Pranesh,
black and
the
white. It's a
fact is,
fact.
like-
There is no perception involved here.
Mr. Mr. Ravi did not have a point, that's why he resorted to majoritarianism and other such bogus claims, because the truth is you've enlisted the sections, I have enlisted the sections, they are clearly discriminatory in nature, they are clearly religious, which has no scope in a secular country. In fact, it is condescending to the Hindu rights who are fighting for the liberation of their temples and who do not enjoy any such privileges. This is a draconian act. I am glad Mr. Rehman admitted to the corruption in it, but the malaise is far deeper because it is legal in nature, and until and unless there is a legal remedy, we will continue to have.
And the remedy is that this can't remain in the statute books. End Waqf special status is our Times Now campaign, and that's the message. This has to go. There are no two ways about this. I thank all of you, Anuja Kapoor, Karan Verma, Atiq Ur Rehman, Ravi Srivastava, for joining us on the big story on Times Now. Taking a short break, viewers. Lots more lined up on the other side.